Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So, I'm not happy about using my computer to have to film right now, but it is what it is because I want to reset my computer, so I'm trying to get rid of all the videos that are on my computer. But anyways, let's get into it. Today we are going to be doing a makeup and mystery, and we are going to be covering the case of Chris Watts, which is a very, very famous case. So, the case of Chris Watts, my previous episode of Makeup and Mystery, if you're curious, is on the Scott Peterson case, and I wanted these cases close together because I actually think that the Scott Peterson case and the Chris Watts case are very similar and are very comparable. And I wanted to make references with each case. I want to say something real fast. It's the 8th of May when I'm filming this. So, the Glaminatrix palettes, the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette came back in stock. And I really want this palette. So I went to order it. And this is a regular $55 palette. By the time I got done with it was $95 fucking dollars! Long story short, I didn't order it because I can't afford $95 right now for one palette for a brand I've never tried before. Not to mention, I could buy it now and it's not going to ship till May. That's 2 months, or till July. That's 2 months from now. $95, 2 months from now. I will revisit the idea in a couple of weeks when I have some extra money and I could afford the $95. But that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous, honestly. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because I'm not filming any more videos today, but I am doing another makeup look because I have a photo shoot I have to do. So let's get into today's video. I'm using a lot of new makeup, which I'm hoping the video will be up for this one, because I actually filmed myself doing a first impression pretty much with these products. So anyways, today we are going to be talking about the case of Chris Watts and Shanann Watts, which, if you don't know, this is a pretty famous case. I'm sure most people actually know about it because it was pretty big. So, Shanann Watts was the wife of Chris Watts, and they had 2 daughters named Celeste and Bella Watts, and Shanann was actually, I believe, 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't that far along, but she was far enough along to know that she was having a boy, and she named him Nico. Kind of like how Lacey was having a boy and she named him Connor. People have really taken to referring to the baby as Nico due to that small detail. So, obviously, Shanann Watts went missing, and it really concerned her friend. So her friend was actually the one that ended up calling police. And then Chris was like, oh no, they're fine, it's fine. They're on like a play date or something. Like, I remember when I was really researching this case, I was watching, like, there's a documentary on Hulu that you could check out of, like, the police videos and stuff. So it really seemed like Chris wasn't that interested. He wasn't really that concerned. Which you would think that you would be concerned when your daughters and your wife that's 15 weeks pregnant is missing and you can't get a hold of them. And all of their stuff is still in your house. And also, I remember people saying that it was weird. Like, he was acting weird on camera and stuff like that. Which, do you remember Scott Peterson didn't want to go on camera and stuff like that for Lacey? Well, Chris actually did go on camera for Shanann. So, of course, they're looking for Shanann. At this time, they are just looking for Shanann and the kids. They think that they're missing. But eventually, looking into it, girl named Nicole Kessinger comes into play. Nicole Kessinger is Chris Watts' co-worker, and she is his mistress also. I compare this case a lot to Scott Peterson, is because Scott Peterson's mistress, Amber Fry, really did the right thing when she found out about Lacey, and she came forward and she helped police to get evidence against Scott. Because she really, really, really didn't know. Amber Fry really seemed like a good person. Like, yeah, she was dating a married man, but she didn't know he was married. And when she found out about everything, she helped police to get evidence against him. So she really, really, really seemed like a good person. However, Nicole Kessinger is not a good person, in my opinion. I believe Nicole knew that Chris was married when they started their affair. I don't think she knew about Nico. So she didn't know that Shanann was pregnant. But I think she did know that he was married. So, yeah. What was weird about this case is Nicole coming forward, and when they researched her, like, search history on her computer and stuff like that, she literally was researching, like, Amber Fry book deal. Like, she kind of is the Amber Fry of this case, because she is his mistress. But Nicole was looking to make some bank on this story. She was looking to cash in. Thank God she didn't, because she is a horrible person, honest to God. Because she really didn't seem like she cared about Shanann. Obviously, she didn't care about Shanann. She knew he was married, and she was still sleeping with him. And it's just, like, it's so weird, because, like, there is evidence on Nicole's computer search history to kind of show, like, she did know. Because she was searching things like, man I'm having an affair with says he'll leave his wife, and things like that. Like, how are you gonna research shit like that, girl? Like, I'm so glad she really didn't get the chance to make, like, cash in on this, because, like, I think that this was, honestly, I think that this was a little bit of this whole situation, I think, was manipulated by her. Just a little bit. Like, yes, Chris killed his wife and his kids, and he should go to jail, and he should rot in jail for that. But I think that this situation was honestly coerced by her. I think that she definitely has something to do with it. She isn't in jail, so this is all just my personal opinion and my speculation from the type of person I believe Nicole Kessinger is, and I don't believe she is a good person. So anyways, they are able to, they honestly suspected Chris pretty early. They suspected Chris. They didn't know about the affair or anything like that until later, but they suspected Chris pretty early on. And it was like a few days after they had gone missing that Chris tells police, like, I'll tell you the truth, but I want to talk to my dad first. And they are recorded. So if you're curious about what happened with Chris Watts and his father, you can actually check out the video. It is on YouTube, because police do release, you know, that information, that the videos and stuff like that. They do release those. So it is on YouTube if you are curious as to what happened in the police interrogation room with Chris's dad and after Chris spoke to his father. Long story short, Chris admitted to killing Shanann, but his first story, because he did end up changing it. So his first story was that he and Shanann had gotten into a fight because he says he told her about Nicole and that he wanted a divorce and that he didn't want another child and blah 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 blah, and he wanted a divorce, he wanted to be with Nicole. And he said that Shanann lost it, and they had like one of those baby monitor thingies, and he said like some time later on that night he had seen on the baby monitor, he had seen Shanann strangling, I believe Bella, and Celeste was already dead on the floor, And Chris claims that in a fit of rage, seeing that, he went in and he strangled Shanann. And this is not true. Like, but he was trying to blame it on Shanann, basically. But this was his story. Just know it's not true. It's not true. We know it's not true because he admitted it. But this was his first story. He led police to the body, and the police found Shanann's body buried at like an oil thing, like close to like where Chris worked. Hers was buried in the ground. What's weird is the kids' bodies were in the oil tanks. The two girls, his daughters, were in oil tanks. And I still to this day don't understand why he buried Shanann but not his daughters. I don't understand it. Now, obviously, Shanann's family was outraged and heartbroken that he was trying to pin the girl's death on Shanann. The police didn't believe it. So the police did not end up believing Chris, and Chris was charged with the murder of Shanann and his daughters, and they also charged him with unlawful termination of a pregnancy. And I think that upset a lot of people, why they did that. And it's important to know that in the state of Colorado, they can't actually charge for the death of a baby like that, unless, I've talked about it a little bit, because these kind of laws are kind of unique. But they couldn't charge him with it, with the death of Nico, because technically under Colorado law, Nico wasn't a person, so Nico didn't qualify for murder, because Nico wasn't developed enough to be outside of his mother's womb and survive outside his mother's womb, which that is how most states will identify a human being, and murder, when it's a situation where you're killing a baby and stuff like that, is they have to be able to take a breath and live outside of the mother's womb. If you know anything about medicine and babies, then you know that being only 15 weeks pregnant, Nico would not have been able to survive outside the womb. So the way to get Chris with Nico's murder, with Nico's death, was to do the unlawful termination of a pregnancy, which I understand why they did that, because I mean, they don't make the law, so they had what they had to work with, and I think that they did the best that they could. Chris was found guilty ultimately, and he did go to jail. Like, he's in jail now, and it's still a very famous case. And we now have the truth about this case, is because Chris was still sticking to his story about, oh, Shanann killed the kids, and I was just doing self-defense, so I'm not guilty. I was defending my dead children. Like, that actually was his story, was that he shouldn't go to jail because Shanann had killed the kids, and he was just in a fit of rage. But ultimately the jury didn't buy it, and he was convicted, and it did take years later, but we do actually have the truth now because Chris has admitted it. But at the same time, Chris has lied so many times. Do we really believe that this is the truth? I kind of do, because it kind of makes sense. So, it is said that Shanann has been proven to have been killed first. So, we are able to prove that Shanann was killed first. How did Shanann kill her children? That was the question. And Chris actually says that his children, as he was taking them to their grave spot, their final resting spot, that he was going to place them in oil drums things. So, I don't know which one it was, but he killed one of the girls. I think it was Celeste, Cece, he killed first. And then he said that Bella looked at him and said, "Are you going to do the same thing to me that you did to Cece?" Or if it was Bella that he killed first, then it was Celeste who said, "Are you going to do the same thing to me that you did to Bella?" And that is what's sad, is that one of his girls, I don't know which one, I really don't, they watched him kill the other girl, and was afraid that that was going to happen to them. and literally asked, are you going to do the same thing to me that you did to them? That is some sadness, and Chris is seriously a sick motherfucker. I don't know why he couldn't just come out and tell Shanann, because Shanann, like, we have the text messages, so she knew he was having an affair. She suspected it. She's not a dumbass. Like, she suspected it. She's not stupid. We women have intuition. But she knew he was having an affair. I don't see why he couldn't just come out and admit, yeah, I'm having an affair, and let her divorce him, and she could have taken the kids, and he could have been scot-free. He just would have had to pay alimony and child support, which, that's fucking on you, motherfucker, because you shouldn't have been with another woman. But then again, Nicole Kessinger wouldn't get her possibility of being Amber Fry. No. I think I think Nicole Kessinger honestly had something to do with this. I really, really do. Because I think that she kind of saw, like, the similarities between this and the Peterson case, because of the fact that Shanann was pregnant and Lacey Peterson was pregnant. So I think that Nicole Kessinger saw the similarities and she thought, I'm gonna cash in. And she didn't. And Chris, just being kind of, like, smitten, has not said anything against Nicole Kessinger, so we really don't know if she actually did have something to do with it. But I think that she had some type of a manipulation to do with it. I really believe that. I took my nails off because they were dying. I was dying. Thank you for patting me on the back, Kai. I needed that. But we know Chris Watts killed his wife and his daughters. We know this. I just am curious as to get, like, what you guys think, because, I mean, like, honestly, internet sleuths are some of the smartest people out there. So I'm really curious. I'm gonna take I think, Chateau Rose today. But I think internet sleuths are some of the smartest people out there when it comes to true crime cases, just because we kind of, like, really research this shit. So I'm very curious as to what you guys think about this. Do you think that Nicole Kessinger had something to do with it because of wanting to be Amber Fry? Which, I'm not gonna lie, she is the Amber Fry of this case. But in terms of her being like Amber Fry, there is literally nothing. In terms of her being like Amber Fry, there is literally nothing else other than that. Other than the fact that the two had affairs with married men who had pregnant wives. That's literally where the similarities went in, because Amber Fry is a good person who worked to help convict somebody that she thought was guilty of murder. Whereas Nicole Kessinger, I think, wanted to just cash in on the fact that she had an affair with a married man, like Amber Fry did, who killed his wife and daughters. Again, I think Nicole Kessinger had something to do with it. I think that she manipulated Chris Watts into killing his family. Let's be honest, he probably would have kept up the charade as long as he could, because, let's be honest, men are horn dogs. And I honestly believe he would have just asked Shanann for a divorce, eventually. But I think Nicole manipulated him into killing his wife because she wanted a book deal like Amber Fry. Gotta love that little book deal. Gotta love the fact that this bitch didn't get to cash in on nothing, and she is permanently known as the whore, a homewrecker. I'm very passionate about this. I don't like Nicole Kessinger. Very passionate about this because I just don't like Nicole Kessinger. I really think that she is a horrible person, honestly. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it here. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff really helps this channel out. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.